I'm Corey Jackson. I'm the executive director of Citizens Inn, and we run a family shelter program and a food pantry and meals program, which is more affectionately known as Haven from Hunger. So at our shelter program, we have about 34 families, typically single moms with babies and toddlers, really trying to get back on their feet, homeless for a host of reasons, often domestic violence or some other trauma in their life. We are sort of their temporary safety net, so that they can rebuild, restabilize, get the kids in school, make sure everything's all set for them, as well as childcare, income development, so that they can actually maintain a permanent home of their own. So we do a lot of that work, and that's what we've done historically since the early 80s. About 2.5 years ago, we merged with Haven from Hunger, and it's been a perfect marriage of nonprofits, from the housing security side to the long-term stability side, which is what Haven from Hunger can offer to a lot of folks. We see about 150 families per day that we're open 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, coming through for groceries for their families. These families are pretty equally split between Peabody families and Salem families. And we have about 4,000 individuals total served through that program. I think this year with this crisis, we're going to deliver almost 2 million pounds of food to the public for free.
So how has that changed with the events of the past month?
Yeah, a lot has changed. We pride ourselves on having a very dignified experience for folks. It's hard to walk through and say, hey, I need help, or I need this service. And so we tried to make it almost as easy as walking into a grocery store for the pantry, having a full choice model where they get to select off the shelves what they want. We really have everything you would find at a local grocery store: fresh produce, meats, frozen, chicken, steak, seafood. We have prepared meals from rescue at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and other grocery stores. And so it's really a nice variety. It's a nice experience. People feel like they got a lot for their family. And they're still feeling that right now, but everything is pre-bagged. So we pre-bag inside with staff. That stuff is moved outside, and then folks are coming up in our parking lot at a social distancing line, stepping forward, grabbing pre-bagged groceries so they're not touching things and sort of contributing to the spread, or putting themselves in danger as well. So we're trying to be safe for everybody. And then our meals program in the evening used to be a sit-down restaurant style, served to the table, lots of conversation and sort of very compassionate and dignified model as well, has gone to a to-go, similar to most of the restaurants. So, those have been the changes. On the shelter side as well, just changing from a very connected model where we're face-to-face with our clients very often, working through their issues. We're now on the phone or on electronic meetings like this,
right.
Talking through glass instead of, in the same room together. It's a different feel, and we're really trying to make sure that our staff both understands that, but also can respond to that and can try to do the things that we absolutely can do while keeping ourselves safe, and know what we can't do at this time, and try to explain that to the families as best we can. One of the strategies we put together was, hey, all these restaurant workers are losing their jobs, either laid off or furloughed. They have ServSafe certifications, many of them. They have food safety training. Some of them have allergen training. Things we need, skills in the kitchen, that they already work in a kitchen, so they kind of can walk right into our kitchen and slice up an onion, and they know what they're doing. We thought it would be a win-win to put those folks to work for us, and we received some crisis funding from some foundations and City of Salem and City of Peabody, Essex County Community Foundation, and the Leahy J.B. Thomas Foundation. And we're able to cobble together enough money to employ 10 people for 8 weeks minimum. And then as more funding comes in, we'll reassess that, see if we need to do it longer or more people. But we hired our first person yesterday. So, yeah. And the second one, I'm doing paperwork with them today, which is a funny thing right now. I showed up to this guy's apartment in my gloves and my mask and handed him the paperwork. He brought it into his house and did it, came back out, handed it to me. I reviewed it in the car, gave him back a couple pages that he hadn't filled out. You know, it was like, wow, like this is crazy. But we're getting it done, you know, and you just figure it out.
If anybody is interested and wants to reach out, how would they get in touch with you about that opportunity?
They can either call 978-531-9775. We're not at 81 Main Street right now, but that phone is ringing in my executive assistant. And she's Rachael Leibowitz. Her email is rleibowitz. It's LEIBOWITZ. So rleibowitz at citizensin.org. And that's citizensin with two N's, INN. You can ask for the job description, and you could either just submit your resume or ask for our application if you don't have a resume, and you can fill that out.
You were just talking about your volunteer numbers dropping over the past few weeks. What are the times that you need volunteers, and would it be the same contact process to get involved in that?
Yeah, so we're kind of keeping those a little bit separate. So the contact for our volunteers is Gianna Langis. That's glangis at citizensin.org, LANGIS. 8 to 6, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Really, anytime you have, if you want to stop in, talk to Kate, she'll put you to work. We try to keep the numbers down, so we'd like you to contact Gianna before you come. Yeah. She can give you sort of the guidelines, restrictions. We don't want to see anybody that's traveled out of the state. We don't want to see anybody that's exhibiting even one symptom. Yeah. So just, you know, be conscious of that and read what we send you and then come on down. The city of Peabody has been outstanding. We saw the volunteer rate drop substantially at the end of last week. Okay. The beginning of this week, we had the chief of the fire department, 2 other firefighters, 2 police officers, all working with us for 6-hour shifts.
Wow.
Amazing support. And Sharon Cameron from the Board of Health has reached out to a core of like 13,000 volunteers for us to try to ramp up a little bit of support that won't cost us our crisis funding. I couldn't believe the support from the fire department and the police department. I mean, I can, because PBD is amazing and we're collaborative and we support each other like no other city, I feel like. But it was awesome to see it really happen and see the chief there himself.
Even if somebody has traveled out of the state, you know, they don't follow under the guidelines to volunteer, but they still want to help. How could they do that?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing right now is really cash donations. If you even have $10, you know, just go online, citizensin.org, and shoot us some money to help support us during this time. We can use your cash to purchase food, supplies. We can purchase food for pennies on the dollar. I think $1 will go 7 times as far with us, you know, so you don't go to Costco and buy cereal and try to donate it to us, because there's 2 problems with that. One is we could buy more cereal with that money. Right. And 2, you're potentially going to have the virus on that packaging. And we don't want to put our volunteers or our staff at risk of accepting donations from random sources. We're just taking in donations from food establishments and grocery stores and the Greater Boston Food Bank at this point. You'd be surprised at how far even, you know, $10 will go. We always need very specific products. There's a lot of folks that we serve that food is medicine for them. So, you know, sometimes we need you know, food for diabetics, food for babies, special formulas, even diapers and wipes. These are things you can't get with SNAP benefits. And we like to have these things in stock when we can. On a larger scale, we're going into Boston to the Greater Boston Food Bank several times a week now, and sometimes several times a day. There was one day we went in 3 times. Wow. With two different trucks. So that is contributing to extra gas costs, extra staffing, wear and tear on the trucks. So we just have to have the cash flow in order to react right now. And one thing we're nervous about, we've seen incredible support from the community so far. In the month of March, we raised so much money to help us with this. One thing we're nervous about is that slowing down while the crisis is still continuing. So it's important for us to get the word out to new people that haven't heard about what we're doing yet and can contribute in any way.
So that would be through the website?
Yeah, citizensin.org. Can do a Facebook fundraiser if you want, but we can get the money faster if you do it right through our website. I think, for the folks that are really concerned about the most vulnerable in Peabody, just know that we're here and that 71 Wallace is going to stay open as long as we're allowed to. And we're delivering groceries with a partnership with No Child Goes Hungry in Peabody to the schools every week. If the schools decide to change their services, we're ready to step in and help them in any way to make sure that the children still eat. We're working with a couple of the senior populations in Peabody to bring them or have them pick up prepared meals from our meals program. We supplied groceries to the Turigian YMCA Y Academy families, the St. John's Elementary, 77 students on scholarship there. We're really doing a lot more than we would typically be doing to make sure that everybody has what they need during this time. So I think you can feel confident you have a really strong organization in Citizens Inn and Haven from Hunger, helping the people that can't go to Costco and spend $400 stocking up for 30 days right now. They really need us just to get through the next few weeks. So on our website at citizensin.org, there's a COVID-19 banner. Definitely go there and click on it. There are links to several resources that you can sign up for electronically above and beyond Haven from Hunger's food resource. Signing up for SNAP benefits if it's the first time you've ever had to do that, cash assistance from the government, unemployment, all sorts of links. So go to that page, check that out. We also have links to updates I've been giving every week. So you can watch those if you want, just about our response, about services that are available to you. One of the episodes is specifically about how do I access services from the government, from you, from NASCAP, from others. So definitely go to our website, citizensin.org, and click that COVID-19 banner because you'll learn a lot. Because we have links to everything in there. Our Zoom recordings, we've been on Channel 5 a couple times, so the stories from that are there. The Salem News, we've had 3 front page above the fold stories during this. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
The awareness is definitely incredible. It's really helping.